software giant Microsoft is preparing to axe thousands of jobs as tech companies continue laying off staff.
Now, Microsoft is the third company which has announced layoffs in the last 1 week. First it was Amazon, then it was Salesforce, and now Microsoft. Huge corporations, when employees within these companies can't feel secure, then I can't understand what's the position of employees working for a lot of other companies right there. In this video, we are going to talk through three things. Number one, why these layoffs are happening at a fundamental level. Number two is what are certain divisions within the organizations which are being impacted more and which are impacted less. And finally, what are the options that are available right in front of us. Let's start with the Microsoft case study. Microsoft, when it announced its quarterly results last time, their revenues were up by 11%. The Azure and Cloud Computing division's revenues were up by 35%. But the revenues of the Windows operating systems were down by 15%. And in the guidance issued for the next quarter, their revenues for Windows operating systems division were almost projected to be down by 30%. Huge. Because the demand for personal computers is down. Now, why is the demand for personal computers down? Because a lot of people already have made personal computer purchases in the last 2-3 years owing to pandemic, and the prices of these PCs are also increasing. Now you might ask, hey, why Dell, HP, Lenovo, why are these guys increasing prices? They are saying that, hey, Intel, which produces, manufactures CPUs and other components that go into Dell laptops, they are increasing prices. And Intel is saying that TSMC, their manufacturing partner, is increasing prices. And TSMC is increasing prices because the raw material prices are increasing for which go into the production of semiconductor chips. Now, what are the raw materials that go into semiconductor chip manufacturing? Number one, silicon. Number two, germanium. Number three, gallium. Germanium comes from Russia, one of the largest exporters of germanium, and gallium, Ukraine. You can see where this is all coming from, right? We understand and we talk about, hey, Russia and Ukraine war is leading to inflation and is basically creating a havoc in the economy, but this is how it's basically impacting the entire digital ecosystem. The semiconductor manufacturing, semiconductor chips, which are an essential component of any electronic gadget, this entire tech industry is being impacted by this war. On the other hand, Ukraine is one of the largest exporter of food grains, and Russia is one of the largest exporters of oil. Now you understand what's the impact of this war on the total ecosystem. If the large companies can't take this heat, we can just see what's going to happen with these small companies. And as of now, we still do not know where the entire situation is going to head. And that's the reason why a lot of these companies are really unsure about what's going to happen in the next few quarters. That's the reason why these quarterly results, the guidance that these guys are giving is also pretty muted. Now, moving on to the second topic, why and which particular divisions are being impacted the most. For Microsoft, it's the R&D team and engineering team. Engineering team and R&D teams are traditionally considered to be the cost centers in any company. For Amazon, it is the recruiting vertical and Alexa business unit. Recruiting vertical, HR teams, traditionally once again considered as the cost center, and Alexa business unit is a non-performing business unit for Amazon right now. So clear trends coming, non-performing business units and cost centers. If you are in either of them, you need to take care of yourself. On the other hand, there are a few teams which are just staying fine. Number one is sales. Companies won't cut down sales because the revenues will also be impacted. And companies are also not cutting down client servicing teams because client services teams are directly paid by the customers itself. If you are in either of these divisions, potentially you are in a safe position. Now, understanding where you stand is very important, but you also need to know what you should do if you are in these situations. Now, what are the two options that are available in front of you? Number one is preparing for that next interview, and number two is reducing that dependency on your income itself. And how can you reduce the dependency on the income? Two ways. One, if possible, generate that zero risk income stream every single month. It could be through a rental or it could be through a fixed deposit. It's important that it is as low a risk as possible. Number two is having a side hustle. Well, the importance of side hustle cannot be said enough because it will give you that revenue in the long run. Well, you might ask, hey, how do I get that side hustle? I would say sit down and think through what is that one skill that you know which others can benefit from. It could be editing, let's say it could be digital marketing, or it could be supply chain expertise, or it could be supply chain modeling, or it could be financial modeling, any of these things. The nature of the skill doesn't matter as long as you are good at it. For example, this video is being edited by an undergrad student who is really good with editing, by the way, and he's not even sit for his placements yet. It is definitely possible, but you just need to try out hard. If you are really interested, and if you know that one skill, and if you also have a portfolio to showcase that skill, I would encourage you to go ahead and drop your email in the comments below. I will reach out to you subsequently and also ask you to fill a form where I'll ask you about, hey, what's your skill? And if there is any portfolio, I'll ask for a link. Please go ahead, fill out that form, and I'll share it within my founders and friends network. And if there is a part-time hustle, they will reach out to you. I keep getting messages like these on a regular basis where people reach out to me for, hey, do you know anybody with this skill on a part-time basis? So please do go ahead and fill out that email and also share it with your friends who might be interested in a side hustle right now. The other way is, of course, preparing for the interview itself. In this LinkedIn post, I have given links to 4 different videos within this channel itself, which talks about networking, resume prep, structured thinking, and industry domain expertise. Please go through the 4 different videos and let me know if you have any questions. This is the content prepared by me, so I have a lot of confidence with respect to how much value it can add to you and also can answer any questions that you might have. Just to give you a gist though, what we are talking about is improving your network right now when it's a decent time for you, because in tough times all you're asking for is a job, and that's a transaction. You would rather want to build that relationship first before you get into any transaction. Number 2 is resume. Resume is the first insight into your personality, your credibility. Please do not prepare it in a rush. Spend as much time as possible when you are making your resume, and that video will help you improve your resume. Finally, structured communication is an art and it can be developed over time. You can't go out and just share an answer in any which form. You need to be as structured as possible so that others can absorb the information that you are sharing. Please go through all the videos. Do let me know if you have any questions, and I'll be more than happy to answer these questions. As I already mentioned, I have a lot of confidence in the information that is available in these videos, and also I hope the situation will improve for all of us. Please do go ahead, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and also share it with your friends if you believe this video is helpful for you. Take care guys, I'll see you again tomorrow. Bye-bye.